Hello and welcome my dear students. I am Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School. I welcome my all dear second standard little champs in today's English lecture. My dear little champs, in the previous lecture we have just revised lesson number 3 and I hope that you have written everything properly and also that you are sending your work to the follow-up teachers. As you know that we have already finished lesson 1 and 2 in our FA1 exam. Now we are going to concentrate on the other lessons. So first I decided to revise the chapters which we have done so that you can just recollect the answers, the story and everything of the lessons which are already done. So I hope that you are all set and ready with your books and pencils in your hand. Now what are we going to do? We are going to do the revision of lesson number 4. In that, hard word puzzle, meanings, true or false and fill in the blanks. These are the things which we are going to do in the lecture. So please give the heading revision lesson number 4. I'll again display it, revision lesson number 4. You just have to give this first heading on the header part of the page. And don't forget to write the date, today's date. You have to mention it every time you watch the lecture and you write it down. So that when you send the notes to the teacher will be able to see on which date have you done it and when are you sending it. And we can keep the notes of your name accordingly. So after giving that heading, give another heading, or you should say subheading, leaving one line, hard words puzzle. I know this is something new. You have heard this word hard word, but you have never heard these kind of things, hard word puzzle. This is the new thing we are going to do while revising lesson number 4. This is something very interesting, a kind of puzzle game. So I hope that you have given the heading hard word puzzle. Please give it properly. The heading should be clear and in the center. Guess the full word and write the answers. This is what you are going to do in hard word puzzle. You have to guess the word and then write the answer. And when you will write the answer, I will also display the answer and then you can compare your answer whether it is correct or is it incorrect. Now that if you have given the heading hard word puzzle, let's get started with it. Number 1, GA-D. So this is from the lesson 4. The word starts with GA and it ends with the alphabet D. So please guess the word, and if you can understand, if you know the word, please write it down. Answer number 1. It is from lesson 4. So if you have read entire story, if you have watched my lectures in which I was explaining you along with the textbook, you should be able to remember this. Also let me give you the hint. This is one of the characters in the story. So now, if you have written the answer, please check it. If you haven't written the answer, please write it down. The word is Gajanand. Please repeat this spelling after me. G-A-J-A-N-A-N-D. Gajanand. So I hope that you have written this word. This was the first word puzzle, Gajanand. Now this way, let us see second one. Now in the second word I have given 3 alphabets: V, which is starting, M, which is ending, and R, which is somewhere in the middle of the word. VRM. So can you imagine or can you guess which word is it? If you can, write it down please in your books. Either you can write it down on your own or you have to write it down after I display the correct answer, but writing is compulsory because then you have to send everything to the follow-up teachers. So this is also the name of character. Let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is Vikram. Please repeat this word after me. VIKRAM. Vikram. Okay, moving on to next is, now this is also one of the characters in the story of lesson 4, how Gajanan caught the thief. So it starts with P, ends with N. It is very clearly there on the screen. Please write it down if you can guess which word is it. Now that if you might have written, I can just hope that you have written. The correct answer is Puran. Please repeat after me. PURAN. Puran. I hope that many of them might have written before I displayed the answer, because this was very easy and I gave you the hint that it is the name of a character. So it will become easier for you then to solve it. Now coming on to fourth one, dash 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 R dash N. So this is also the name of character. Please try to solve it. If you will solve it, you will be an intelligent boy or a girl. So let's see what the correct answer is. If you have solved it, good. If you haven't, please write it down from here. The word is Charan. Please repeat after me. CHARAN. Charan. Okay. Moving on to fifth one. Now this is not the name of character. This is one of the hard words which I have given you. R dash 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 RY. Please try to solve it. It is, or you know that this is from lesson number 4. So you should be able to remember the hard words at least. Which word is it? Now for those who have written, check your answers. For those who haven't written, please write it down from the screen. The word is robbery. The word is robbery. So for those who are writing, write it quickly, and please others repeat after me. ROBBERY. Robbery. Okay, so this was easy one because you see the starting and the ending I have given you. So I can just hope that many of them might have written before I display the answer. Next one is sixth one. It starts with SH, then there is a space, and there is a K, and it ends with R. Now I would just give you the hint that this is the compound word. That means it is the combination of two words. Again, you know it is from the lesson 4 only. SH space K space R. Which word it will be? Try to guess the word. You will be happy if you will be able to solve it, isn't it? So I hope that many of them will have been written the answers. Let's see what the correct answer is. Anyways, this is the correct answer, shopkeeper. Please repeat the spelling and the pronunciation after me. For those who are writing, please write it fast. So repeat it loudly and clearly. SHOPKEEPER. Shopkeeper. You see, it is a combination of shop and keeper, two words, compound words. Shopkeeper. For those who were able to guess this word and were able to write this before I showed it, congratulations, you are really intelligent people. Moving on to seventh one, The word starts with 3 alphabet THI and it ends with S. Which word do you think this will be? Try to guess and write the answer before I display it. It starts with THI. Now, these are the main characters in the story. Now, this is the hint I have given you. I hope that you will be able to guess this. Now, let's see what the answer is. The correct answer is thieves. THIEVES, thieves. Please repeat after me clearly and loudly. THIEVES, thieves. So, you know, 3 thieves were caught by Inspector Gajanan. These are the main characters other than Gajanan in the story. So, I hope that you have written this spelling, because for writing one word, you are getting sufficient time. Now, students, please give another heading on the same page after leaving 2 lines, or on the new page, it is your wish. Just give the new heading meanings. Here, you just have to write the answers. Now, you see, here you have to write the answers properly with answer number. And if you don't know the answer, you can write the answer after I display the answer on the screen. But for writing it, it is very compulsory for you to write it down, so that as much as you will see, as many times as you will revise it, you will be able to remember it easily and effortlessly. So I hope that you are given the heading by now, meanings, clearly. The first question for it is hard. Now, hard has several meanings, but here in the lesson particularly, it had one meaning. If even you have textbook, you will be able to look into that. So let's see what the meaning is. For those who are knowing the answer, I think they have already written it. For the remaining ones, here the answer is with effort. Here the meaning in this lesson is with effort. Please write it down. I'll repeat it 2 times. Question is hard, meaning here with EFFORT, effort. Question is, please repeat after me, students. Question is hard. Answer here with effort. Okay. Next one, number 2, shocked. Please write the answers if you know. Question is shocked. What will be the meaning for this? I hope that many are writing and many have already written the answers for them. I would like to congratulate them, because they are very intelligent. They have already learned the meanings. Excellent. So let's see what the answer is for those who are remaining ones. The answer here is surprised. Please write down the answer. For those who are writing, write it down quickly. Question is shocked. Answer surprised. Spelling is SURPRISED, surprised. Please repeat after me loudly and clearly. Shocked. Answer is surprised. Clear enough? Moving on to next one. The question is empty. EMPTY, empty. Please write the answers if you know. If you have learned the answers, please write it down on your own and then check the answers when I display it. For those who haven't learned, this is the good opportunity. Try to learn it when I ask you to repeat it. Okay, so here the answer is empty. Here it means to remove. They were empty the sack of grains, so that means to remove. Please write it down for those who haven't written it, and for those who have written it, please repeat after me. Empty. Here, to remove. Empty. I hope students you are repeating after me. Answer here, to remove. Moving on to next one, true or false. Now please give another heading either on the new page or leaving 2 lines if you have the space on the same page, true or false. When you are giving the heading, you should underline that properly, you should highlight it properly. What do you have to do? You just have to write the answers. That means after reading the sentence, the statement, you just have to write whether it is true or is it false. Obviously, I am going to display the answers, but I would suggest you to write the answers before I display it on the screens, so that you will be able to know whether you know the correct answer or not. One more important thing to say is true or false are the questions, the sentences, the statements are twisted here. It is not as it is I have given you, it is changed. So try to understand the statement and write the answer. Now the first statement is, there was a robbery in Vikram's house. Is it true or is it false? Quickly write your answers. Answer number 1. The statement is, there was a robbery in Vikram's house. So I hope you have written true or false. Let's see what the answer is. This is false. It was, see, I have written the correct statement in the bracket, which you need not have to write it. The correct statement will be in Charan's house. There was a robbery in Charan's house, not in the Vikram's house. Vikram was a constable. So this statement is false. If you have written false, your answer is right. Congratulations. So now I hope you understood why this statement is false, because the robbery was in the Charan's house and not in the Vikram's house. Now moving on to second one, the statement is, Gajanan was inspector. Gajanan was an inspector. Is this true or is it false? I hope you are writing the answers, students. So let's see what the correct answer is. This statement is true. Gajanan was certainly an inspector. So this statement is true. So now moving on to next one, number 3. Puran saw the 3 inspector. Puran saw the 3 inspector. Now Puran was the cook in the Charan's house and he saw the 3 inspector. So if you feel true, write it, or if you feel false, write it. Writing is must. I hope that you are writing the answers. Now let's see what the correct answer is. Is it true or is it false? This statement is false. Why? Because Puran saw the 3 dogs, not 3 inspector for the first time. Correct? So this statement is false. The correct statement is Puran saw the 3 dogs and not the inspector. So I hope you understood this, and even if you remember the lesson, you will be able to judge this statement easily. Next one is, there were vegetables in the sacks. There were vegetables in the sacks. So the sack in which the grains were there, the kind of storage of grains, rices and pulses and everything. So there were vegetables in that sacks or something else. So if you have written the answer true or false, let's see what the correct answer here is. The statement is false. There were not vegetables. In fact, there were the grains in the sacks. So this is the answer. Moving on to fifth one, the statement says that Puran was a cook. Is it true or is it false? Puran was a cook. Please write it down, true or false. Puran was a cook. Let's see what the correct answer is. The correct answer is true. That means if you have written this statement is true, you are absolutely right, because Puran was a cook in Charan's house. He was a main cook in the Charan's house. So this statement is true. Now students, give another heading on the new page. Fill in the blanks. Give the heading clearly, properly, in the center part of the line. Fill in the blanks and highlight it. Now what you have to do, again you have to just write the answers and nothing else. So I hope that you have given the heading fill in the blanks, for which you should not take much time. You have to just write the answers. So be ready with the answer number, means answer 1, answer 2, answer 3. This way you have to just write the answers when you see the question on the screen. Here is the question 1 for FB. Question is, Puran said he saw 3 dash. Now right now we saw in the true or false. What did he see? Please write the answer. Puran said he saw 3 dash. What did he see? Please write down the answer. If you remember the story, or if you have learned the FB properly. So here is the correct answer. Answer is dogs. Puran saw 3 dogs. So Puran said he saw 3 dogs. He did not confess for the first time that he saw the 3 thieves, but he said that he saw the dogs. This is how he gave the hint to inspector. So please repeat this statement after me. Loudly and clearly you have to repeat after me. Puran said he saw 3 dogs. Okay, moving on to second one. Dash was a police constable. Dash was a police constable. Who was a police constable? Not the inspector, constable. Try to remember the characters. The characters were there in the starting part of the lesson, in the beginning of the lesson. Dash was the police constable. Now for those who have written the answer, check it. For those who haven't written it, write it from the screen. The answer is Vikram. Please repeat this statement after me. Vikram was a police constable. Okay, Vikram was a police constable, whereas Gajanan was an inspector. Okay, so constable you know. Now moving on to next one. One night there is a dash in Charan's house. One night there is a dash in Charan's house. What happened in Charan's house one night? Charan, who was the landlord, who was the main owner of the house. So one night there is a dash in Charan's house. Please write the answers if you remember the answers. One night there is a, let's see what the answer is. Robbery. Correct? There is a robbery. Please repeat this statement after me, and for those who have not written the answer, write it down from the screen. So repeat this statement after me. One night there is a robbery in Charan's house. Spelling of robbery should be R-O-B-B-E-R-Y, robbery. This was also there in the puzzle hard word in the starting part of the lesson. Robbery. I hope you have written this. Moving on to fourth one. Now the question is, Inspector Dash inspected the house. I will repeat the question. Inspector Dash inspected the house. Now which house? Obviously Charan's house, in where the robbery happened, the robbery took place. So which inspector inspected the house, the Charan's house? Please write it down, and when you write, please make sure you do not make any spelling mistakes. Inspector Dash inspected the house. See, writing is very compulsory because you have to send the notes of whatever you are writing to the follow-up teachers or to the subject teachers. Then we'll be able to present your name in the certificates on the presentation. So if you want your names properly there to be circulated in every house in the certificates, you have to work hard, children. So this is how I'm making the lectures always, so that you can get the feeling of as if you are sitting in the classroom where you write it from the board. So I hope that this is impactful and you are working. I want you to sit with your friends, to sit with your parents and do this work. Anyways, let's see what the answer is here. If you have written the answer, the correct answer is Gajanand. Please repeat this sentence after me. Inspector Gajanand inspected the house. And also repeat this spelling after me, students. Gajanand. Gajanand. This way you can remember with a trick. And I hope that maximum of the students have written the answer without looking onto the screens and without seeking for the answers in the book. Anyways, number 5. Puran left the house by dash o'clock. Puran left the house by dash o'clock. That means the time you have to write it down if you remember while I was explaining you the story. So, at what time did Puran leave the house? If you remember, when the robbery happened, everything was inspected. Inspector Gajanan was inquiring and questioning each and everyone who was there in the house. So, at that time, it was clearly mentioned till what time was Puran present in the house. So, please write down the answer if you remember. Puran left the house by dash o'clock. So, I hope that many students are writing the answers without looking onto the answers when I display it. Because for those who have already learnt the objectives, they will be able to write the answers on their own. And I really appreciate those students who are learning the objectives and subjectives regularly. Because for those students, the exams are really very easy. Anyways, let's see what the answer is. The correct answer is 9. N-I-N-E, 9. So, please repeat this statement after me. Puran left the house by 9 o'clock. Okay, so at this time, if you remember the story, Puran left the house, and at that time he saw the 3 thieves and he was afraid. He also saw the 3 dogs barking onto those thieves, and this is how he gave the hint to Inspector Gajanan. So 9 is the answer here. Thanks for watching the lecture, my dear kids, my dear children. I hope that you even enjoyed the lecture. See, this way, if you regularly do the work, if regularly you write from the lectures and not from the WhatsApp groups. So when you write it from the lecture, you will be able to make the environment as if you are sitting in the class. So when you sit in the class, you know, teachers write on the board, teachers speak, and on the spot you have to write the answers. So here also, Rohan sir is speaking. I am showing you the questions in the way I will write it on the board. So I hope that from your side you are doing the same. You are writing the answers when I ask you. If you don't know the answer, it's okay. You can write it from the screen. And that is why I am even displaying the answers. So now students, maybe in the next few lectures I'll display the test for lesson 3 and 4, just a kind of class test by which you can prepare yourself. So make sure that you learn in the small sections, so at last you don't have to learn everything together. So I'll end up this lecture by saying that don't forget to send the notes to the follow-up teachers, whatever you have written, so that we can keep the notes that who are doing the work regularly. With this, that is the end of the lecture. Take care and goodbye.